watching the video tape, probably no introduction to Peter Eustace here, and Peter certainly is going to add a few points to us how he felt the season went for Leyton Orient this season. And first of all, Peter, obviously I'd like to ask you really how the O's played differently away from home to their home performances this year.
Well, we all know it's happened, and I think it's something that's gone on for the past, well, certainly maybe 2 or 3 years while I've been here. Without wanting to go into it too much, Steve, I do honestly believe it is down to the players and possibly myself. I think I'll have to look at it very, very closely this year, the way I've tried to tactically go away from home. And I think I'll have to, in fact I know I'll have to just change the way the players are, their attitudes, and possibly even change some of the players. As we all know, I've gone quite a way down the road for doing that, and I'm hoping that in this next 2 or 3 months, prior to the season starting, that new faces will be appearing at Brisbane Road.
Good. Obviously, it seems to be something that's been at Leyton Orient for quite a few years, the problem away from home.
Yes.
And
yes.
I suppose perhaps the young players, if they join the club, perhaps it's sort of bred into them. Do you feel sort of an atmosphere about
well,
the whole situation?
I believe this, that if something happens for 3 years, that people pick it up.
Yeah.
If it's success, they'll pick success up. If it's failure, which it has been away from home, then they'll think that's the norm and they'll carry on doing it. So we've got to do something about it drastically and quickly.
Yeah. You mentioned obviously that there's going to be perhaps a change in some of the personnel within the club. We've had to release some of the players, obviously for various reasons, end of contract, etc.
Yes.
Kevin Hell's been a great stalwart for Leyton Orient over the years,
yes.
And obviously he's got his testimonial at the start of next season. Obviously you're not going to mention any names regarding new players that you're looking at perhaps, but is anyone pretty close to being available for Leyton Orient at the moment?
Well, like I say, I don't want to mention players' names because it puts me in a difficult position if the things don't go ahead. But we are looking at 3 or 4 players who I know, if we get these players, that will make a big difference to the way not only Leyton Orient play, but I believe maybe more importantly will add more determination, grit, commitment, and winning into the team.
Not afraid to win on a regular basis, I suppose. Almost.
Not afraid to win on a regular basis. That'd be a wonderful thing that for us next year. Yeah.
Okay. Also regarding Leyton Orient this year, could be a new youth team coach appointed as well shortly. Is that right?
Yes, that will be the case. Yes.
That's good. So obviously, a youth team policy here is very important for a club like Leyton Orient.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good. Do you think really any particular games stood out for Leyton Orient this year regarding a performance that's really stood to mind?
I think there were a few good performances, especially down here. In fact, I believe there were a few good performances away from home. I know that the Stoke City performance, for example, was I think everybody would have said that we certainly deserved to win the game up there.
Certainly did, yeah.
We came away with absolutely nothing, and that was down to maybe 3 minutes of something that had happened prior to the game, being in a position where we were going to beat maybe the best team in the league, and thinking, oh, we shouldn't really be in this position, and thinking about it instead of going and doing something and even increasing the lead. So that was a good performance. I actually felt that one of the best all-round performances was down here, playing against West Bromwich Albion.
Yes.
It was a combination of very, very good football, playing against a good footballing team. In fact, at times out-footballing the supposedly best footballing team in the league. We played it at a tempo, we were fully committed. It could have been more. I know they could have scored. Overall, I thought it was a very, very entertaining game.
Yeah. You mentioned that West Bromwich Albion is certainly a very entertaining side, and it's good to see they actually qualified through the playoffs for promotion this season.
Yes, it is.
So obviously, have you any views on the playoffs, etc., looking at the Portsmouth situation in Division 1 this year?
Well, it's how we start off before the season starts. It's not something that we decide halfway through, so nobody says anything about it. In fact, we were in a position where we'd have loved to have sneaked in 6th place, wouldn't we?
Of course we would.
You know? Yeah. Unfortunately, we were just a little bit out of it due to the lack of goals scored. But it's something we agree before the season starts. Everybody's disappointed when somebody finishes 3rd, miles in front of somebody who's finished 6th, and then of course the 6th team go and win. So, but it's one of those things that it's in the rules when you start off, so it's allowed, and we should carry on with it.
Do you think it ought to change it at all anyway, the playoff situation?
I did speak to somebody this week about something where, in fact, the 5th and 6th teams play off, and the winner of those plays the 4th team, and then the winner of those fifth and fourth playing off plays the people who are in third.
Yeah.
Now maybe that is a better way of doing it.
Yeah.
But it's a more fairer way, so that the third team has to just play one game and win it.
At the final, as it were.
At the final, as it were. But then don't forget, then they have to be missing football for something like 10 or 11 days. Sure. And the people who finish sixth, they've got maybe 3 games to play. And
more revenue as well.
Well, maybe more revenue as well, yes. Yeah. So you've got to think about a lot of things.
Because regarding the law changes in the game, last year we were looking at obviously the introduction of the back pass rule. I mean, certainly how do you think that's affected Leyton Orient this year?
Affected Leyton Orient, I don't think it's made a great deal of difference to us. I mean, I think we tried to keep the game going, we tried to play at a tempo. I think that we haven't seen the worst of it, because I do believe that if we have a very, very bad autumn, which goes on to a bad winter, whether it's due to mud or whether it's due to very, very icy grounds, I think we've been fortunate this year that we haven't seen both those conditions. But overall, I think it's gone off very, very well. As you can see from our football pitch here, and most football pitches in the country, the pitches are far, far better these days than what they used to be. It does keep the game going. I'm sure from a supporter's point of view that they are continually entertained or continually watching something, whether it's entertaining or not, I don't know, but at least they're continually watching something.
Sure. Obviously, I shan't finish the video recording today without mentioning Frank Clark and all that he's mentioned to Leyton Orient.
Yes.
Over the decade or so.
Yes.
And obviously his presence is going to be missed here, isn't it?
Absolutely. Frank Clark had a fantastic opportunity to go and join a football club that he thinks a great deal about. In fact, maybe the only football club that he thinks more about than this. It would have been silly not to go and take the opportunity to go. He was successful in his application to be the manager up there. We all wish him the very, very best. But what we've got to do now is get on without Frank. Things have changed a little bit internally in the football club. Responsibilities have been taken on by other people. Frank's not going to be what you might call, nobody's going to take over Frank's job. It's going to be shared a little bit by different people, the directors, myself, the ladies, Sue, Carol and Maureen, who are in there. So
it'll be absorbed into the club, sort of.
It's going to be all absorbed into the football club, yes.
That's good. So obviously, the initial disappointment of missing out promotion issue, is that now a thing of the past, fading away very quickly?
No, still got it here.
Still got it there?
Still got it, oh right, yeah. I've still got it here. It doesn't pass that quickly.
No, certainly, obviously supporters still in some ways.
Absolutely. I don't think things should pass that quickly anyway. I don't think you should be disappointed for 2 days and 3 days. I think when things happen like that, you've got to keep it. I spoke to the players on the last day that they trained, which was a week last Thursday, and I said to them I want them to take that feeling through the summer as well. So when we start again next year, all of us know that if we can put one part of our football club right, and that is the away form, then we should be looking at some success next year.
Well, thank you very much, Peter, for your time here spared with us to finish this video off, and we certainly hope all of us at Leyton Orient to have a very successful season next year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay.